One thing when using AI when you start is that you easily tell yourself that, you know what, whatever changes the AI is making, I'm going to be in the loop, I'm going to be in control, I'm going to see what's happening. So if something breaks, I can always be there to catch what is happening. But it takes a lot of discipline to do that for a very long time. Because first time you do it, AI makes some changes. It changes 2-3 files. You look at the files, you look at the changes, looks good to me, approve. You do that a couple of times, and then when you have a lot of success rate, a lot of looks good to me, at some point you just trust that the AI knows what it's doing, so why bother check? And that is when you get into problems, because the day you ever have problems with your application, like I did with the application I'm working on, then I realized I actually don't know what's happening in this application, and it took me a lot of time to debug and find the errors. Now, what's on top of it is that I let the AI write the tests. Everything was green in the test. I thought everything is good, even when a lot of things were broken in the application. AI should not be writing your test, but let me tell you exactly what problem I was facing. So I'm currently building this app. It's my own custom finder. I have a finder app that comes with macOS, and it's nice and it allows me to do a lot of interesting things. There are so many capabilities I wish it had, or were easy to find, or were easy to customize. So I thought, why not build mine? Very easy to navigate with the arrow keys. You can jump into columns, you can go back. One thing I really love about this app is you can go to smart folders, for example, and you can see in this directory what are the files that are greater than 10 MB, for example. You can see all the files greater than this, or maybe even 1 gig. What are the files greater than this? And you can easily delete those files. So a lot of interesting things I wish the Finder app had. This one has, and I really love it. However, I vibe coded this with AI. Said these are the things I want. I use the smart models we have today, like Opus 4.6, and then the biggest mistake I made was write the test. And all the tests were green, everything was fine, until I discovered a problem recently. What was the problem? So like I shared earlier, I can easily navigate in a directory using the arrow keys, right, left, and everything. And I wrote tests to also check these arrow navigations, and all the tests were green. This was the test that the AI came up with. Here is the problem. Because this AI came up with a test, and because I didn't check the test, instead of the test to be checking an actual user clicking the up arrow, down arrow, left arrow, right arrow, it created a function called simulate arrow down, simulates arrow up, simulates arrow right, and simulates arrow left. What does this mean? This means that even if the user is not actually able to click up, down, left, right because something is broken in the app, this test would always pass, because this is actually not checking if the user can, how do you say it? If the user can press that arrow button. All the test is doing is, as you would see here, test that first arrow up with no selection wraps to last item. And what does it do? It calls simulate arrow up, which means this test would always pass, even if things are actually broken. And that was what I experienced recently. So Finder has this feature where if you're in a directory like this, and let's say I want to select, or let's say I'm searching for gloss, for example, I can do GLOSS. Oh no, I think I need to be in this column first. I can do GLOSS, quick search on my keyboard, and the Finder moves the selection there. I can do, I think if I go here, I can do something like hydration, and it takes me there. So I thought I could also add that feature to my own app here. And I actually did so. So if I'm here, I can also do GLOSS, and it goes to that directory. I also added a little helper here at the bottom, so you can see it. So for example, if I type MCP demo, I can see what I'm typing, and then here it goes to MCP demo. So this was working fine. However, there was a mistake that I made, or the AI made, where it was capturing the up, down, left arrow in this search. And because it was capturing that, the search was no longer triggered. So basically when I start searching, it builds up this typing buffer where it can see how much I'm typing. So it's that typing buffer here that it shows when I am typing something. Now, when building this typing buffer, like I said, it was capturing the up, down, left arrow. So in this part, this is where it checks if I am pressing the accepted keys like letters or numbers. If I'm pressing a control, command, option, alt, whatever, it doesn't capture that. So this is the check where I can actually check that I'm actually accepting the right keys. So now let's say I come here and I do true or, which means this condition would always pass because true is truthy. So what that would mean now is here, if I try to do up, down, left arrow, that would also be captured in the typing buffer. And you can see it. I'm pressing up, down, left arrow. You can see it doesn't navigate anymore. And as you would see on my little helper here, as I'm pressing up, down, left arrow, you can see that that's actually captured here, and it searches for that and it doesn't see it. So now my navigation is broken. But guess what? These tests was still passing. So if I go to my test file now, let's just say I run npm tests and I'm going to pass this file here. I'm going to run tests for that file. As you can see, everything passed here, even when my navigation is actually not working fine because it was simulating the test. But if we now go to this other one here, which was it's basically the same test like this, but I'm actually testing user flows. Here I am actually triggering a key event, arrow down. Here I am triggering a key event, arrow right. Now if I run test for this file, things are actually broken now because this test is actually trying to trigger the key event, and it triggers the key event and then it checks, is the next item in the list selected? Oh, it's not selected. Then the test is actually failing. So now if I come here again and I remove this part, which checks that I'm only pressing the accepted keys, and I run this test again, the integration one, now everything is parsing and now I have that guarantee. I think one area where you need to be in full control is the test, because the whole point of test is the guarantee that the test gives you. If this is green, it means this is working. If this is red, it means things have broken. But what AI would often do when tests are breaking is that its goal is to get the test to pass. Obviously, this also comes down to how good the model is, how smart the model is. But its goal is not to ensure that your app works, is to ensure that the test passes. Sometimes I'm working on this application and I tell it, why is this test failing? Fix it. And guess what the model does? It deletes the tests. Okay, you know what? We actually don't need this test here. There's so many limitations, and it deletes the test. And because I'm trying to stay control of the test now, I would say, no, I want this test here. Why is it breaking? Check the component and tell me what exactly is breaking. And then I can know, okay, this is what is happening. This is why it is breaking. And then I know where to fix things instead of just making sure the test passes. Now, if you have been in the tech space for a while, not letting AI write your test is probably common advice. So I actually blame myself for falling down this hole, but this is also my own experience sharing that actually AI should not be writing your test. And now I think after discovering this whole simulation helpers, what I discovered is that now I have less guarantee about all I've been building in the last I think, have I been building this for up to 2 months now? I think I've been building it for a while now. I don't even have that much guarantee. Recently, I did a migration from JavaScript to TypeScript. All the files here were GSX to GSX, JS, and I moved all of them to TSX, TS, and all my tests are green. But to be honest, I don't even have that much guarantee anymore. I feel like every day I'm just waiting for what else did I break in that migration. And as you would see, I've created a couple of integration tests. Now, wherever you see integration.test, previously we had a smartfolders.test.ts, but that was using a lot of simulations and not testing actual user flows. So now I had to create the integration variant, testing the same thing, but ensuring this time that I'm actually testing the user flow and not just testing functions that would always work even though the app is broken.